Hey, what's up, guys? Conquest MMA with another video. It is Fluffy Fight Week. So goated. Listen, before you know what, I'll say my piece when I get to the fight. We got Triple C versus the CCP. Henry Cejudo versus Song Yadong. Uh, I thought about this. Originally when I heard the Seattle card was announced, I was thinking of just picking all the Mexican Americans and putting them in the thumbnail. But ever since fucking Dominic Cruz retired, I'm like, there's no novelty in that anymore. So I'm just gonna pick Song Yadong. I was gonna pick Cejudo, Hernandez, and Cruz, but not anymore, I guess. I'm going with Yadong. I think Yadong's fresher. Henry Cejudo, he's had competitive matches with some of the best bantamweights ever, but that like it doesn't automatically mean. Look, I think Cejudo's wrestling, his MMA wrestling, is not that. It's not the best in his division. I think there are guys who set up takedowns better than Cejudo, but only with striking. This isn't a straight up wrestling match. And Cejudo is a glorified slugger. You know, you watch his fights, and what this guy likes to do is he likes to slug. He's more of a boxer. You know, he hits pretty hard, but I think Yadong is just crisper and fresh. He's more fresh. He's 4 inches taller than Cejudo, 3 inch reach advantage. These guys are both coming off losses, but Yadong had a fucking war with Piotr Jan, who's the most skilled bantamweight in the world. Jan had trouble with Yadong. I was worried. That was when when Jan was on like people were considering. I think people were picking against Jan, and they thought if Jan was gonna lose against Yadong, he was gonna get cut from the UFC and like go to one. I remember there was a period in time where people thought Jan was gonna go over to ONE FC and become the champ over there. It's like now that he's bounced back, but I think Piotr Jan is honestly, I don't think he's overrated, but like his legacy is. Cejudo's the underdog, but listen, I'm gonna have picked it. It's gonna be a slugfest. I think Yadong's gonna is gonna chin Cejudo, maybe in the third, but Cejudo can craft it up. But I don't know. I think Yadong could secure 2 rounds based off damage. Yadong hits harder. He's faster, bigger. You know, I'm picking Yadong finish. I don't know when. Okay, now that we got the fake main event, now this is the real main event. Brendan Allen versus Anthony Hernandez. You know what pisses me off? Listen, I wouldn't want Jared Cannonier to fight Anthony Hernandez because it's like seeing it's like seeing your parents fight. You don't want to see that shit happen, bro. Some of the two of my favorite middleweights, but it's fucking crazy that RoboCop went from unranked to fighting top 10, and Fluffy is like only fighting the number 9 guy right now, and he's on a better win streak just because fucking RoboCop fights nobodies and the Iron Turtle. Okay, that's his only good win. His only good win is the Iron Turtle. Okay, that pisses me off. Anyway, Brendan versus Anthony Hernandez. So you guys know who I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick the guy who's my fucking profile picture, okay? That being said, I wouldn't. Brendan Allen is not a bad pick. In my opinion, it's not a bad pick. Brendan Allen is. I think his wrestling is worse than Fluffy's, but not by much. Not by much. It's very competitive, but this is gonna be either really competitive or Fluffy's gonna like I don't know. Fluffy improves every fight. Every fight he gets better. Like he puts more dominant performances. And I heard some morons say his Fluffy's last performance was overrated. AKA Kenny Okoye, the little dummy. Says his performance is overrated. How is 10-8ing somebody rounds 4 and 3 overrated? How is 10-8ing somebody? Habib does that and people glaze him. Fluffy does that and he gets fucking. People say, "Oh, he can't finish nobody." Ilia Topuria had a more competitive fight with Josh Emmett than Anthony Hernandez did with Michelle Pereira. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? That's fucking stupid. Keep that same energy up. Keep that same energy with Ilia Topuria when he can't finish fucking jobber Josh Emmett. People are glazing Emmett because he knocked out Bryce Mitchell. It's like Bryce Mitchell is mid. He's top 10. He's top 10. He's not mid, but he's not like a world. He's not top five. He's not top five. Okay. He's not gonna challenge for the title anytime soon. He's a dumbass. It took him 3 rounds to finish to beat a gimmick fighter, a guy who always pulls guard. And that fucking Kron Gracie, a gimmick fighter. It took him 3 rounds. I thought he'd get it done in like one, maybe two. It took him three. Jesus. Emmett, no. Bryce Mitchell's a retard. I think to be frank. Okay, enough. Okay, I watched Brendan Allen's performance against Curtis, and I think I watched it against Amavov when I was studying for the Amavov fight. Brendan Allen, to my knowledge, I watched his Paul Craig fight, but like he's finished like mid-level fighters, right? Terrible. Not even mid. That's like too much of a compliment. Mid-level. You know what I'm saying? Mid. Paul Craig is so mid. He's a gimmick fighter. One dimensional. If you're one dimensional and you can only do a couple things, you're a gimmick fighter. Like you're like in a fighting game, there's like gimmick fighters that you can spam with or whatever the fuck. Like no one like fucking what was it, Ryan Hall? That's like the pure that's a gimmick fighter. He's like maxed out in one move and that's it. I don't think Brendan Allen has the killer instinct to finish Anthony Hernandez. He's too safe. He's a power bottom jiu-jitsu power bottom. Those guys don't win belts. If you're like really content on the ground and that's all you do, well, and you're not like really good anywhere else, the only person who gets away with it is Oliveira. But that's because he, he's dangerous on the feet. He's dangerous everywhere. That's how he gets away with it because he's well rounded. Brendan Allen can't because his striking is technical, right? It's pretty good. Like if you can have a competitive fight with Chris Curtis, even though he's coming off 2 weeks short notice and he arguably lost that fight, or he would have lost that fight if Chris Curtis didn't get a freak fluke injury. This guy's arguably Brendan Allen's arguably on the 2 fight losing streak. You know, I just don't want Fluffy to have a bad performance. You know, because I listened to an interview to where he's saying he got sick. Like I think like 2 months ago, 8 weeks ago, he got sick. You know, so I don't know if he like doesn't have his cardio and doesn't clutch. I hope he finishes. I don't know where people getting the idea that this is going to decision. I think it's going to be a finish. Brendan Allen. I know this is 4 years ago, but Brendan Allen, unironically, like no joke, got finished by Sean Strickland. Right? Sean Strickland only finishes guys that have no cardio, that have no dog in them, that have no heart. You know, he only does that to guys that don't have the foresaid attributes. Listen, listen. Brendan Allen is not a bad pick. If you really believe in his striking, if you really think he hits harder than Fluffy, he can stuff all of Fluffy's takedowns, somehow stop his cardio. Brendan has pretty good body kicks, and the that's what you need. But he does it from orthodox, right? And we don't really see Allen fight from southpaw. You have to be a southpaw kickboxer, kick Fluffy right in the midsection to hurt him, and then you got to finish him up against the cage. Well, I think Fluffy has better wrestling, way better leagues of he's leagues ahead of him in the cardio department. More killer instinct. Oh, his fight IQ is underrated. You know, uh, when Fluffy was fighting Michelle Pereira, he, I think it was in the second or third, he got reversed and he was put into submission, right? And ever since then, I think Fluffy only attempted like two submissions, but that's when Michelle Pereira was totally gassed out. He played it safe by just ground pounding him, throwing him around. I mean, honestly, decision isn't a bad pick, but eh, I don't know if he'll do this with Allen because Michel Pereira is actually really strong. I've seen that man hold down a bull. I was really worried when on the day of that fight because I thought Michel Pereira was gonna fucking I didn't pick him. I picked Fluffy, but I had a gut feeling it's like holy shit, this guy might actually like destroy like obliterate Fluffy with like a goofy ass fucking body kick, clinch knee or some shit. But no, Fluffy has a good chin, and in the Michelle Pereira fight, he only had 3 moments of vulnerability. I guess it's and not even that. People say he weathers the storm, like he gets hurt in the first round of fight and then weathers the storm. People are acting like he's getting like Rodolfo Vieira again. That's not how it goes. That's not how it goes. He gets hurt a bit and then he arguably wins the first round. You could argue he wins the first round because that's when he gets going. Like when he starts walking you down, you can't really throw body kicks at him. You only have like one opportunity to throw a body kick, and that's it. So I think I don't know if body kicks are the way to go with Fluffy because he can only throw like a couple before he starts puts the gas on the pedal and starts walking you down. If I were to say, I'd say Fluffy probably has the best guillotine. I don't know if it's gonna go submission. I could see a TKO. I could see a TKO. I'm kind of surprised that Mavlov couldn't finish Allen. That was kind of a mid performance. Oh yeah, and let me say, Allen fully content on the bottom. He will lay and pray on the top. He has no killer instinct at all. I don't think he hits that hard. Chris Curtis can be hurt. He has a good chin though. Chris Curtis is kind of underrated, but he was on a little skid, and arguably lost to Chris Curtis on 2 weeks' notice. So Chris Curtis, I would say, has his number, owns him. Him and Fluffy have to share joint custody, but that fight will never happen because Chris Curtis will never, probably won't be ranked ever again. He'll probably beat, but I could see Chris Curtis beating Bo Nickel though. What else do I have to say about this fight? I think I've said pretty much all the obvious shit. How could I see Allen winning? TKO. I don't think he can submit Fluffy. TKO or I don't see him winning a decision against Fluffy, but it is a 3 rounder. But people forget, man. Fluffy finishes his 3 rounders in the second or third. So if you were gonna like bet in place of and predict the finish, it would be in those 2 rounds. But that's just me though. That's just me. I don't bet. Um, I think the rest of the fights, it's like the last card. Heavy favorites. I'm not even gonna. I picked fucking Jesus Aguilar last time. He could have won, but he is a smooth brain. So I guess I'm gonna go with heavy favorites or guys I know. I'm going with Ron Font because he's a crafty vet, and Jan Masumento is coming on short notice. What the catch? It's a catch weight. Oh, that might even out. I'm still picking Rob Font. Jan Silva. Who the fuck is this Armenian nobody? Why is he fighting Jan Silva? Why don't we give Jan Silva someone who's actually somebody? You know, I want to watch Jan Silva have a fucking goated ass fight. Alonzo Manyfield versus Julius Walker. I'm going with Manyfield. Ian Kutalava versus Ibo Aslan. Kutulaba is like Big Ank's third best win. Oh my god, people overrate Big Ank so fucking much. I'm going Evo Aslan. Andre Philly versus me. Quiziel Acosta. I don't know how the fuck you say that. I'm going with Costa. Old man Philly. How old is Philly? Anyway, I'm going with Costa, I guess. Upper incomer. I think I watched him fight maybe once or twice. I'm going with Abdul Malik. Mansour Abdul Malik. Yeah. I don't know if I can pick a. I'm not gonna pick this contender series guy. Ricky Simone versus Jiva Bashara. I'm picking Bashara. This is a pretty easy card to predict. Nikola whatever. I think his opponent pulled out, and now this this random guy's pulling. Like a lot of guys pulled out in this fucking card. Hey, there's no women's fights, so goaded might be fight night. Why? Why is Rusi Boyev? Wasn't Rusi Boyev in his last fight? He fought Buckley, but wasn't he on the main card? Jesus, that's so Uzbekistan. I'm going with the 6'5". He's not a pipsqueak, but he. Oh, I thought he was a welterweight. He moved up to middleweight. He might be a monster then. His reach isn't crazy. In fact, it's below average. He has T-Rex arms. It's 76. That's like 6'3". That's 6'3", and he's 6'5". Must be narrow shoulders or something. Medeus Bukakis versus Rafael. I don't know. Listen, man, I just don't trust Jack Brazilians anymore. He isn't too shredded, but Jesus, RoboCop looks bigger than this guy. RoboCop's a fucking middleweight. I guess I'll go with Bukakis. Heavy favorite. Alright. That's it for this fucking card. I know I promised 18-minute glaze session, but Fluffy already has a win over fucking Brendan Allen. I think this is a really easy card to predict, but if Fluffy loses, listen, you might need to call the suicide hotline. I'm not gonna lie. I'm joking. But yeah, that would be disaster. That would be a disaster. I wouldn't give a fuck if I went like how many fights are on his? Like if I only got that one fight wrong, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care. Jesus, dude. Cause if Fluffy loses, he's gonna fucking have to go on another long ass win streak. He's gonna have to fucking fight Bo Nickel. Bo Nickel. He fucking obliterates Bo Nickel 5 years ago. If you have these two guys at the same age, he obliterates Bo Nickel. Like he decimates him. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. Bo Nickel, he called out two of my goats, Fluffy and fucking Krylov. No, no, not Krylov. I'm just fucking Roman Kopylov. My goats, Kopylov and Hernandez. He does not know. He doesn't know his place. He would get decimated. Kopylov would kick his head off in the first round. In the second round, that's a bit iffy. But like he wouldn't damage him or submit him. Because he ain't Fluffy, brother. And I don't even want to get into what Fluffy would do to this man. Anyway, that's enough glazing. I'll see you in the next video in the recap where I'm proclaiming Fluffy would beat Drickus. Nobody is ready for that conversation. No one brings his name up. The disrespect. This is the real dark horse. This is the real stupid ass website. He is the real dark horse. He is the real dark horse. Anyway, that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the recap. All right, bye.
Another jab. Oh, good 1-2. That was Allen. Strickland trying to